I thought I might mention today what I think are maybe six of the real estate investing tips for this year. I think some things that I think are important. One is to start off with the team. I think it's important to know yourself and understand what you're good at and what you're not good at, or what you like doing and what you don't like doing. And those things that you're either not good at or you don't like doing, make it your goal today to find someone else who has got similar goals to you and is good at those things that you're not good at. Because I think if you can start with a team, and also if you can outline what your processes are, and you say, okay, I'm overwhelmed in this one area, so I need to find someone who can handle that for me so that I can continue to grow my business. Because if you're working in your business every day, it makes it hard to work on it and make it grow. And I would also say look for a mentor, because if you can find someone who's already successful doing the thing that you want to do, and I'm trusting that you're focusing on one thing until you're successful with it. A mentor could make all the difference because they've already figured it out. And the next thing I would say would be, to be successful, would be understanding the bigger picture. Like, you want to have the macro view, not the micro view, about what's happening in the market. It's really important to look at population trends, employment trends. Are there businesses moving in? Are there businesses moving out? Because, that really drives the whole economy. So it's important to look at the big picture of a market. And that's also how we are picking counties. We're kind of looking at those places where people want to be, and maybe going out in the rural areas where they're close to services, but they're not necessarily, they just kind of want to get out of the city. And that's been working really well for me. And then I'm also focusing on the larger deals. But if you can understand the bigger picture, I think that helps when you're making decisions about where to mail or where to market to prospective property owners. Another thing I don't hear a lot of people say that I believe is that money is made in the mind. Have you ever heard that before? Because if you cannot visualize what it is you want or where you're going, makes it hard. It makes it hard to get there. And it's made in the mind because once you decide what it is you want, and you can start visualizing your life like that, you can start living as if it's already true. And then you will start, reaching out and meeting people. You'll have mentors, you'll create a team, and you'll start being able to build your success that way. Okay, Tamara, I see your question. You said your realtor says she cannot list your property because you don't own it. And isn't the contract enough? I think it depends on the state and their laws, and it also depends on the contract. If you're using my contract, it's got permission to advertise it on the MLS. And so when you have an agreement with the seller, you actually have an equitable interest in the property. I hear a lot of people also say that they just don't have money to get started. Like, they don't have money to market, they don't have money to invest, and they allow the money to be something that stops them from moving forward. And I have found that to be a big myth, because people are investing in you. And if you can learn and get the financial knowledge about how to structure a deal, and you show someone the opportunity that you see, if you have an opportunity, the money's going to find you. I mean, if you tell a few people, people will fund it. So don't say you don't have money, because the truth is you don't necessarily need money. You just need the hustle and the financial education and knowledge and the willingness to put the deal together. You could easily put together a little spreadsheet or a little presentation to an investor, and if the deal's good, it'll speak for itself. Okay, Melissa, I see your question. I've heard you say that you get properties under contract and give yourself a 6-month due diligence period to get the land sold. If the seller's under distress and really needs to sell or ready to sell, how do you convince them to give you 6 months? It's a negotiation, Melissa. If you think the property is a home run and you would buy it anyway, go ahead and buy it. If it's going to sell and you're getting it for 25%, if it's a good property, it might be worth going ahead and doing it. You could also find out how much they need, and you could say, well, I could give you this much now and do payments over X number of months, and that way it'll give you more time to put less money down and find a buyer. That might be a creative way. But just get creative. It kind of depends on, it's just a negotiation. You just have to talk to your seller, understand what they need, and see what you can do. Leighton Allen said, if you have an accepted contract, then you have an equitable interest. That's right, Leighton. Just find a different realtor. That's right. Sometimes that comes down to the policies of the real estate agency. So, I mean, it's no big deal. Just keep talking to realtors till you find one. Andrew Anderson says, do you lock up a contract with earnest money so that it's much more enforceable? And if so, how much? Well, you're not asking me, I don't know if it's the buying contract or the selling one. I'm assuming that you mean when someone is offering to purchase your land, then yes, I do ask for a deposit or an earnest money, and I get as much as I possibly can. But it depends on the price of the property. Maybe you go in at 1 or 2%. Tommy, hi Tommy Inman. How are you finding buyers when you select to enter a new county? Well, I have a formula for how I find sellers, and I have a formula for how I find buyers. I call it my marketing machine. I just turn on my marketing machine for that geographic area, and the people who are searching online for property will find me because I'm going to advertise everywhere where people are searching online for property. So that's the MLS. I've had huge success with Facebook Marketplace and posting it into groups. I also advertise on the land.com network of sites. That's pretty expensive though. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that does work for me too. But I'm also selling the larger and more expensive lands, so it kind of depends on what your niche is. So I don't know if that helps. Okay, Andrea, I see you said selling. So I think I answered that. Hope I did. Oh no, sorry. I mean a purchase agreement from the seller. No, I don't ever give earnest money to a seller. Donna Pittman Smith. Hi, you asked, do you always, where'd it go? Do you always use a realtor or market the property yourself? I usually do it myself because, I mean, I have a real estate license and I know there are thousands of real estate agents out there, but most of them aren't very good. So I'm a hunter type of salesperson. I like to hunt it down, kill it, drag it home, and eat it. That's fun for me. But most realtors just put it on the market and they don't really do anything else. So I can do that myself. I don't need them for that. What I really need them for is I need someone who can field phone calls for me and talk to people. That is a bigger challenge for me, and that would be the reason I would use a real estate agent. I would tell them I already have the marketing machine, so I just need someone to take calls and get it under contract and get it to close. Because I have so many properties for sale right now, I think I have 26, and I have them coming in every week. And so just the sheer volume of that means I have to find someone who can take those calls. Hope that answered your question. I market it myself. Renee says, when do you get the POA signed? When do I get it signed? I guess I'm POA. Why am I drawing a blank on POA? What is that? Power of attorney? Oh, power of attorney. I don't use a power of attorney, so I'm not sure. Maybe you could clarify that. But if you're saying, do I give power of attorney to the title company to sign for me? Yes, now I do that, and the title company just sends it to me and I sign it. So I hope that answers your question. Leighton Allen says, if you're buying a property, just give $20 to $100 to bind the contract. Yeah, I don't even do that. I don't do that. Donna Pittman Smith says, do you recommend getting a real estate license so you have access to the MLS? No, you don't need it. You don't need it. You can get access to everything you need without a real estate license. Let me just go back and see. Let's see, Sam, I'm seeing your question now. What does your VA do, and what do you do? Okay. Well, my VA is primarily doing my due diligence, my skip tracing on returned mail because I send my mail out first class. They are also doing my copywriting. They are putting my website together. They're posting stuff into social media, and they're setting up my like my MLS listing, because I use a flat fee MLS, so I just have them help me get that set up. So those are some of the things I use them for. Not sure if I answered all the questions. If I didn't answer your question, drop it in here. I'll answer one or two more, and then I'm going to hop off. But please message me through Facebook if I can help you with any of your questions. Let's see. Oh, Renee, I see what you're saying. Number 9, the assignment rights. Yeah. Okay. Hope that helps. Kevin Perney says, what is a list of items that you filter from Data Tree for mailing? Okay, good question. I never mail any railroad tracks. I never mail any municipalities like the electric company, the utility companies. I think I said that. Any government buildings, any schools. There are usually blank lines in there, blank owners where there's no name. I won't mail those. Frank Guerin, how and why do you file the affidavit of memorandum of agreement? How and why? Okay. How I do it is I just call the county and I ask them what's required from them in order for me to record something. They'll tell me it has to have a 3-inch margin. The letter does, so they can put their confirmation on it that has the book and page number. And so I'll call them and ask them what they charge, where do I mail the check, and what their requirements are. That's how I file it. Why I file it is because when I get a property under contract with a seller, I don't want someone to circumvent me and go, when I start marketing it, people are going to learn this property's for sale. And when they figure out that I'm not I haven't closed on it yet, sometimes they try to go to the seller directly and make them an offer. And then the seller might get tempted to do that because that's a great deal. Now, I will say that most of my sellers don't do that. They usually stick to their word. So I will say most people that I've dealt with have been really good about that. But there is the occasional person that will try that, and then let's say they do make a deal and the guy goes, well, yeah, that's way better than what I'm getting over here with Chris. Then they do a deal, and when they go to the closing table, the title company is going to run the search on the property, and they're going to see that I have filed something saying I have an interest in this property, so they won't insure it. It won't be conveyed until that's cleared off. So that just gives me like one step of protection. So if someone tries to go around me, they won't be able to. And William, I see your message. Why is it that you only buy 5 or more acres? That's just my strategy because I would rather have bigger deals and make more money. If I'm going to do all that work, I'd rather have a bigger payoff. I mean, that's really the reason. So I go after the bigger things. So anyway, I hope that helps. I think I'm going to have to sign off here. I got to go do this closing. But, the key to my success is just consistent daily action. I take incremental action every day. I send mail every single week without fail. And I know that you can do it too. You can find the same success I've found because it's a proven model. And you can start as small or as large as you like. I just do large because it's just easier. I can make more money. My last 10 deals averaged $55,000 per deal. So, and I simultaneously closed on all those. I really didn't need my own money for that. And there are dozens of investment options like double closes. That's what I like to use. But there's more than that. You can get investors. People like me can come along and fund the deal for you. If you have any questions about getting your land investing business started or getting it unstuck or just keeping yourself moving forward, just reach out by posting a question on this page, or you can send me a private message through Facebook. I would love to hear about your journey into real estate investing and learn what brought you here and what you hope to learn. So keep in touch, and I'll see you next week when I go live again.